Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing on this fine Sunday morning? It has been raining here all night long. There are flash flood warnings in effect. Good morning, Mr. Ed, TC, and Drummer. Jolly Ranchers are very addictive. Don't ever buy those bags of Jolly Ranchers because you will eat them one after the other if you're not careful. Good morning, Mr. Scott. How are you this morning? Where are you from, Scott? What part of the country or continent? I've got a pretty good idea where most people are from, but Scott, you're one I don't really know. Good morning, Nick. Buffalo, New York. I used to have a roommate that was from Oswego, maybe? You know where that's at? I think that's a city that's like lakeside. It gets lake effect snow. And she used to get tons of snow, I believe. She was a roommate. She was pretty cool. Except that she breastfed her daughter until her daughter was like 5 or something. Very weird, very weird. But I think it was Oswego, maybe. I don't know why Buffalo made me think of that, but I'm thinking maybe it's upstate, and I think Buffalo is as well. Anyway, let's see. So I carried the same knives 2 days in a row. I carried this in my front pocket again, except I fixed it last night or yesterday. I put a mirror edge on it. It came pretty dull, so I put a mirror edge on it. I don't know if I'll get the light correctly where you can actually see that mirror edge, but it's got one on it, I promise. There you go. Maybe you can see it running down the blade there. But it is very sharp now. So sharp, in fact, that I was thinking Still Addicted actually posted on my short video of this knife that after watching the action on it, he was debating on getting one, and my video changed his mind to where he's going to get one now. So I thought one of the early conversations I had with him is how he closes a knife and how I close a knife. And so I started trying to do the method that he uses to close the knife, which is what a lot of people do. Just let it drop on their thumb and then let it go. And the second time I did that, I cut myself. So it is sharp. It did that little cut across my thumb. Started bleeding, but I put pressure and it stopped. Yeah, I had that in the front pocket, and then I had this again in the back pocket. And this one has a mirror edge too. This one came with the mirror edge, and it's got a super sharp edge. I guess the reason I like this one as a back pocket knife is because it's super thin. I don't know if you can tell just by looking at it, but it's got a very thin profile. It's just a plain shaped knife, and I've had it 2 days in a row in my back pocket now. Which brings me to the pile of stuff sitting over here. These are those ones. I finally went through and found the knife I was looking for, which is this one that I couldn't find. And this is the Hilberg. And if you don't know about Hilberg, they used to come with these super cool cards where they offered all kinds of different blade steels, M390, Damasteel, S35, different kinds of check boxes, but ceramic bearings. Kevin Lee, HillbergKnives.com, considered by a lot to be one of the premier knife making companies. And this is that other chamois that I have. It's a 3.3 inch. It's got the milled texture with lightning anode, and the pivot is lightning anode. So is the clip. This one is actually for sale, or about to be for sale. But I couldn't find this one. I wondered where I put it, and I found it. So, along with it, I found some other random knives I had still in pouches. Don't really have a home. Some weird ones. And some extras and doubles I have that I'm going to sell. This is a duplicate of the Todd Begg Steelcraft Quaken. I just threw it in a Shanzhou pouch, and then I got a random big old boy steel knife that I bought off Amazon not long ago. No clue why I bought it either. I don't like it. It's made out of steel. Just one of those impulse buys because it was cheap that I shouldn't have bought. And I regret it. But it's a big old overbuilt knife for people that like big overbuilt knives, I guess. TC Blades is back to tell us what he got off of Etsy. This is another one. I'm not sure even what it is or why I have it. It came in a bundle. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone want this knife for free? Not my style. Oh, thank you, TC. Then I've got, a second titanium amphibian that I got in a trade. It's a cool knife. Not a bad knife. That's the one Sever 7 said he took apart and got back together and fixed the action on it. He was proud of that. I'm proud of him too. Why? It's a good thing Jed's not watching. Oh, because of that knife. And then this is a Vostede that I have that I don't know why it's in a bag, because it's an awesome little knife. I guess it's the raccoon. Is this the raccoon? Yeah, this is the raccoon. Got this in a bundle deal too, or something. Don't remember. It doesn't look used. TC Blades, you gonna give us the link to the Etsy thing you got, or you gonna tell us about it? You gonna show it to us? This is one of my Arius clones. This is the D2. Version. You can tell whether you've got the D2 version or the M390 version because of the lettering on the blade and the jimping on the flipper tab. If it has lettering and jimping, it's a D2 version. If it doesn't have the jimping or the letters, then it's the M390. I've got like 4 of these, 5 of these. I need to give one of these away on a giveaway. I did actually give one of those away on a giveaway. I gave one to Ron Dobbins, I believe, when he won. Let's bring up the browser and see what interesting thing TC Blades got. This is something else I wanted to show y'all, but we'll look at that in a second. Lapping film kit. So I'm confused. You stick the film over top of your stones. No, it comes with its own 3D printed block. That's definitely 3D printed. And they're lapping films that you stick to the 3D printed block. And a 3D printed add-on brace for your precision, work sharp, precision something. Well, there you go. That's super cool. Not compatible with professional model. All right, let's check the second link he sent. Oh, the second one is for the brace. Yeah, that brace makes a lot of sense. You could easily 3D print that. I bet if I typed this in and went to Thingiverse or typed in, let's see, there's one right there. But I bet I could find the STL file really easy. Check this out. Type that in and type STL file. And here's a Thingiverse link to it. And here's the file, the 3D file the guy made. And it fits right underneath. Work sharp, precision, adjust. And I bet Thingiverse will have more versions of it. So here's a carrier for the precision adjust that you can 3D print to hold your stones. Here is a version of a 3D printable scissors razor sharpener that you can 3D print all the parts for. Looks pretty cool. Here's another clamp support piece. That looks kind of like, oh yeah, that looks exactly like the one that the guy sells. So you can download that file, and if you got a 3D printer, you can print it for free. You just hit download, you open it, and Windows has a 3D file browser built in. So you can open that, and well, it used to have one built in. Maybe this version that I have doesn't. But it lets you view 3D files. So that's pretty cool. Cool find, TC. $60,000 grit. Wait, where's the knives? We're looking at a precision adjust sharpener clamp support that he bought, and I was showing him how he can 3D print one if he had a 3D printer. We're looking at knife stuff. Keep it scale, stupid. We're looking at lapping films. What's Tupperware have to do with? Where'd you get Tupperware from? You know how you came in shouting about Tupperware? And the knives are on the table and in the browser, which brings me back to what I wanted to show y'all. Some new stuff. Have y'all seen this Magpul polymer injection molding? So they got metal injection molding now. They've done the impossible. Have y'all seen these knives? The Breslau MVN 35 blade. So the blade is injection molded steel. New technology that blue polymer handle. If you go back right here, there's an article on it. Let's see, if you're not into firearms, you might not be familiar with Magpul. Magpul just changed the knife industry. Let's check this out. Oh, it's all good. Keep it scale, stupid. I was just bugging you. Tupperware. I just hadn't heard that word in a while. It kind of threw me off for a second. You're fine. I don't care. It's just all of a sudden you came up with the Tupperware and I was like,
there is no way.
Whoa. Hold on, I got to put an earbud in. Y'all are going to hear feedback. Let me get the earbud connected. Sorry. There is no way you're going to hear feedback. Come on, stay connected. It's not saying connected. Why are you not saying connected? Oh, it is.
I have no idea how they did this. You see, I've always fancied myself a knife nerd, and when I heard what Magpul was saying, my first thought is that there was no way. Magpul has released a line of knives made with metal injection molded blades. Injection molding is akin to casting, and blacksmiths have known for millennia that casting is no way to make a blade. But having done a little bit of research, it looks like Magpul might have pulled off something special. And when a company like Magpul shows up at Blade HQ, it's time to question everything. And question we did. And the first question I had was, guys, tell me, who is Magpul? How'd you come to be, and what do you guys do?
Yeah, so Magpul is the largest firearms accessory manufacturer in the world. So we make firearms accessory parts for all the major manufacturers in the world. So that's kind of where we started with a Magpul, which was an accessory put on the bottom of a magazine, so you could pull the magazine out faster in combat. And that evolved into several iterations of the magazine that we now call the PMag or the Gen 3.
Magpul was founded by a Marine named Richard Fitzpatrick, and he solved a problem that every combat veteran knows well. In the heat of battle, it can be hard to pull your magazine out.
This is for reaction purposes only.
To make this easier, many soldiers would use duct tape and
reacting to
paracord
this
to make a
video?
loop at the base of their magazine that was easier to grab. But Richard made a piece of flexible plastic that would grab your magazine and just be a better solution all around. It was immediately a smash hit, and ever since, Magpul has been making great products to solve real problems for over 25 years. One of their founding principles was make what they need, not what they want. And that applies to more than just firearms. That was only the beginning.
And a common misconception is that the people of Magpul only shoot guns. We only engage in firearms or sporting activities, but the reality is the entire employee base, They do backcountry hunting, they do overlanding, we're all surfing, we're all alpine climbing, we're doing all of these adventurous things. And knives and other industries or other categories of products are integrated in what we do every day.
I think to that end, injection molded polymers in guns. When I think of that, I just think Magpul. Magpul brought that to the world. Now I can hear what you're thinking. What even is injection molding? And I'm here to tell you. Injection molding is one of the most popular ways to manufacture plastics in the world today. And I'd bet the farm that you have a ton of injection molded stuff within arm's reach of you right now. The process works by first adding a bunch of little plastic pellets called feedstock to a hopper, which feeds into a heated
All right, now we're
auger
learning
that
about
twists
injection
and melts
molding.
the plastic and fills a chamber with it. And then the auger pushes forward
Kinda just wanna
and
learn-
squirts
see the
all of
knife
that liquid
blades.
plastic through a nozzle and into a mold. The mold separates,
And
and the
know
part
why it works.
that, including some of you, injection mold metal. More on that later.
All right.
Like, how did you convince people that?
You had the USGI magazine, which was as that.
All right. We got the
right?
magazines. We got that part.
Scary magazine.
We're cool. We want to see the blades. Come on.
How did Magpul end up in the knife business at all?
Prototype designer kind of built
All right.
first prototype we have. This was the head of design. He just kind of took some PMAG prototypes that he had. In 2015, they had an employee build. So the head designer kind of built a bunch of scales and then put them on these Kershaw blades and gave them to all the employees. So that was kind of the next kind of threshold in the timeline. And then from there it was kind of a, hey, we should probably be making knives. That's what led to the rigor. So this is probably about 2017. We made these prototypes initially, and then once the prototypes were proved out, we went to the commercial market with them.
They sold out like that.
They
So
did.
fast.
We were not expecting that. And what I think it proved to us is that Magpul has a consumer that's looking for a knife solution. It broke the website. It was something that most employees got a knife, right? And they were asking for more. And so I think what it showed to us is that we should probably be in the knife game. And that's kind of what led us to the next step.
You know that the Germans hold more patents
Magpul
on
is best
things
known
than
for
any
their
other
plastic
country in the
injection molded
world.
products, but they've been using
The
nano
U.S.
metal injection
they're
molding
above,
for a good while
even
as
though
well.
they're a lot
Products
smaller,
like the
they
popular
own more
flip-up sights,
patents
the
than
M-Bus Pros,
anybody.
their barricade
So it
stock,
doesn't surprise
even
me
the
that they
blades on
invented.
this new and exciting line of knives use
I would
metal
say the
injection
Germans
molding
invented
to
it, not
allow
the Nazis,
economic
but maybe,
manufacturing
I don't know, who
as well
knows.
as extreme accuracy. The MIM process begins a lot like the plastic injection molding process with feedstock. However, this feedstock is special. It uses metal powders and resin instead of solid plastic. And as the auger heats it up and injects it, it finds itself into a mold and comes out just like a plastic part would. The parts fresh out of the mold, called green parts, are then moved to a debinding bath where solvents remove all of the resin. After debinding, the parts are very brittle, so they are moved to a sintering oven where they shrink and bind into one solid part. In addition, there is a step called hot isostatic pressure, which solidifies the part all the way through to 100% of theoretical density. After the HIP process, the part is basically indistinguishable from something that is machined, although no waste has been created because it was injection molded. Now, some of you extreme knife nerds out there may have noticed some similarities between the way MIM is done and
Why
the
are
way
we
our
seeing
beloved powder
blurs?
steels are made. And believe me, we'll get to that. But for now, what's the
Why are
big
they
deal with
blurring
MIM?
part of it?
Why should we care anyway?
The biggest thing is going to be features, the feature set, and in how we designed this knife, we were able to reduce the parts count compared to something like a crossbar lock, axis lock, those sorts of things. So we simplified the design. We have a new locking mechanism that we're rolling out with this knife. With the locks are also MIMmed, the pocket clip is MIMmed, and it's just, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck because the profile machined and just conventionally machined prototypes that we had cost us thousands of dollars to do, and it wasn't even in our actual material.
You kind of get a one-shot cost, and it's like, what can we include in the face of the blade, or can we add a feature
I can
to the
see all
blade
kinds of
that goes in the
applications
mold
for it.
for free, right? Because you have to make
Because they
that mold
can
regardless.
build
So
in like
if
the
you can
stop
add something
pins and
in
all that
now,
without having to
why
build
not
it
do
out.
As opposed to traditional manufacturing, you want to add a secondary bevel, or you want to
A lot of
hub some
labor
material,
costs
right? New bits,
reduced.
new plates, new machine, new something. So here it's like you have a one-stop shop. You need to put everything in, and so it's a very different design philosophy from the outset. So
And you don't
something
have
that
any
we've
kind of
gone
waste.
through with the DT stock, the MoBipod, and everything else that Magpul's made.
So in conventional blade steels, the way it works is they are made in a foundry, and in powder steels, it's a powder that's put in a big canister, and then I think they use HIP as well, solidify the whole thing, and then they roll it. And the hot and cold rolling process is kind of similar to the forging process, where it helps
refine the carbide structure and give you that blade performance that you know and expect, combined with good manufacturing and heat treatment techniques. But when you injection mold, you're not getting that. So
Yeah.
how?
How is it strong?
Well, it started out with what steel do we want to roll out? And we settled on CPM's S35VN, which has been around a while. It's a proven performance, a solid steel. And
oh, that's
we
cool.
had to figure out, well, how do we get this from billet to something that we can MIM? So we met with one of our partners who does a lot of MIM work for us, and we just broached the question, like, is this a thing? Can we do it? And it piqued their interest, and so that started the R&D effort. And I think as soon as we had some test bars made for mechanical testing, it was like, okay, go.
Magpul kept iterating on the steel end process until they had functional MIMmed blades, but they weren't about to go to market with something that was untested.
So
they got in
basically
contact with CATRA, the
S35
Cutlery
being-
and Allied Trades Research Association, to really put their blades through their paces. Their tests are extremely scientific and form the basis of all of the ways we describe blade steels today. Their tests push these blades to the literal breaking point. And like Magpul, I was really excited to hear the results.
What we found from their metallurgical analysis matched what we had, what our partner had from their third-party testing, and like, hey, it looks like S35VN. I'm like, well, that's what we wanted it to be, so that's good. But the big kicker was when we tested edge retention, and what we found is that our steel was outperforming conventional billet with similar edge geometries and performing just as well in edge impact test.
That's crazy, guys. I don't think you quite understand. Like, I looked at this document. I saw the microstructure. I saw the carbide sizes. I don't know how they've done it. This is witchcraft, guys. This shouldn't be possible.
It shouldn't, and I think we were skeptics. John was a skeptic just months before we
Morning,
got this
Sever
stuff.
7.
And once the data came in, we tried to look at it as unbiased as we could, just to make sure that we were doing this correctly, right?
Yeah, that's
'Cause we
pretty
know
cool,
the consumer, we
the,
know the knife world. We understand
possibilities
that
are
it can be
endless
nerdy
if
at
they can get
times.
other
And so
steels
that was John's
that they
goal
can
from the
MIM.
outset, is like, we have to meet these standards if we have.
That'll
a
eliminate all
product
kinds of
category, if we
waste,
have a knife
all kinds of
line.
machining
So
time.
it's Magpul's philosophy of like,
They can
if we're not
build in
making
parts.
cool product that's
They can
that's
injection
disrupting the
mold
market,
parts that
then
you
we don't
really
wanna do
couldn't
it,
mill.
So I think it's the same with,
Um,
let's figure out the PMAG. Why can't we change the bipod?
I mean,
why can't we change stocks, right?
Like
How
you
do we
can
integrate
3D
those
print some
systems?
stuff that you
Coming
can't
up with
make
an
in real
M-lock
life
system
because
that
you can
changes
put stuff
the continuum
inside of
the
other
system, like,
stuff.
all of those questions were annoying the establishment and asking people why they were
We're
doing it that
watching
way.
metal
Why can't we
injection
do it another
molding.
way?
Magpul
So I think,
has figured out how to
this
make
is the same kind of
S35VN
blueprint that
and
we've always
injection
followed.
molded
Like, look at the
blades.
industry. Is it stale? Is it doing the same
Ed,
thing? Is there a way
And
to
they've
change
come
it?
out with a knife.
Yeah, one of our core foundations is innovate or die. So we
And
apply that
they're able
to
to
the
injection
knife world.
mold
So where are people going
S35VN
to get
with
this first? How can
better
they get
edge
this tech in their
retention
hands
than
now?
plate stock.
You'll be able to see this first in our Breslau,
They
which
don't
is
have
an
to mill
EDC
it.
folder. We consider this to be the spiritual successor to the rigger knives in terms of a lot of familiar design lines. You can see that that DNA, but we've also done a lot to improve the cutting performance in terms of blade geometry and the cross section. We've got a different mechanism, and it's a lot less expensive than the original rigger. So that's going to be the first knife of a bigger series.
Yeah, we have big plans for MIM. MIM allows a lot of different innovations, not just in the tactical space, but in outdoor, EDC, hunt, all of that stuff. So as we are product people, so we kind of live 12 to 18
Who is
months
they,
in the
and
future.
why didn't they honor
So
your
as our products
purchase?
are releasing, John and I are already
Late
thinking
HQ?
about what's next, and we're working with the design and engineering team. And
William?
it's cool. It's only been 6 to 12 months since we've left that design, and it's already evolved into something else that we're really excited about.
Yeah.
So the future of MIM is bright.
If you had told me a month ago that Magpul, a company known for making gun parts, would be ushering in a new world of knife making, I would have called you crazy. In fact, when my manager told me just that, I called him crazy. But now I've seen the knives, I've held them in my hand, and somehow Magpul has got super steel performance out of a metal injection molded blade, and I find that very exciting. Magpul knives are coming soon, and it is Blade HQ's great honor to be the only retailer to carry them directly. We expect the first shipment to arrive in March 2025.
So yeah,
Thank you all.
they're 2025. They're out now, and here's the 3 versions of that knife. So they molded in the injection molding the lock mechanism into the blade, so it doesn't have to have any extra parts, which is super cool. the lock, let's see. So the blade looks like it has some kind of curved deal-o thing that interfaces with the lock. So not that many parts. I mean, it's got liners, it's got the lock, it's got the pivot. They also said they mended the clip and the liners, so they did all that. So that's pretty cool technology. I'm not sure about the knife. I mean, yeah, looks cool. USA made. They got the price down under $200. It's called MVN 35 instead of S35VN. So it's a new blade steel. It's 3-inch blade. Warncliffe. So yeah, there was that. Yeah, you like the Warncliffe blade? Keep it scale stupid? Yeah. I mean, it would be a great utility knife. 3-inch blade. I'm curious how the lock feels. Looks pretty simple. Slides back and forth. I don't see a spring, but I imagine there is one. Yeah, cool knife. Look forward to see what they do with that in the future. Flippers got to go. Got to go. Yeah. So Blade HQ screwed up on the price, William, but they didn't honor it. Yes, keep it scale stupid. It is a proprietary lock design that they just designed for that blade because they incorporated it into the blade. He said that on the video. He said it's a new lock that they patented or designed or both, whatever. So a little something I wanted to share was some of the best places I think finding a knife if you're looking for one. And we all know how to go to the main retailers. But I wanted to show you a real simple term to find some knives that you might not find otherwise. And if you're like me and you like titanium, TC4 is a big catchphrase word that a lot of people use in selling knives that are titanium. So you can type in TC4 and whatever blade steel you're looking for, and you can find knives that you might not necessarily know exist on eBay. I've found quite a few knives that I didn't know were even a thing by putting those two terms in, TC4 and M390, or TC4 and S35 or S90V or VG10. So I wanted to share that little trick. A lot of times, of course on eBay, you're going to run across ones that aren't real M390, like this $58 clone of a Chavez that's not real M390. So beware of that. If the price is too good to be true, it probably is. Of course, eBay, you will find a ton of Tucson's with M390. Nothing wrong with that. But typing in TC4 and the blade steel you want, like let's try VG10, which is a cheaper blade steel. But you can find lots of knives to browse and check out and look at that you might not know exist. Like this knife that first came up here, this NAMI N003 looked like a super cool knife to me. I love the blade shape. So I went about researching this knife because I was wondering why it was so expensive. And who the heck is Wendy at namyknife.com and www.namyknife.com is where I started. And this site no longer exists. So I messaged this guy on eBay and was like, what did you do? Buy out all the stock that they had left over to sell on eBay? And basically that's what happened. This company went under. This guy bought all their stock and he's selling them on eBay. But I was very interested in this knife because of all the milling, the nice work, and I hadn't heard of it before. Yeah, Drummer, TC4 is titanium. Sorry, I didn't see your question. Yeah, that would piss me off too, William. But, oh yeah, I remember that I tried to grab one of those too, and they sold out super quick, the S90V ones. Yeah, I'd be pissed. I always try to make a company honor their price if they screw up, if it's on their end. But anyway, this was a knife brand that I ran across that I didn't know about just by doing those simple search terms. TC4 is a catchphrase that a lot of places use. And then since I like titanium, another way that I'll do it is I'll just type titanium in. And Knife Center has one of the best websites because of being able to break it down by all the categories over here. Like some places like Chicago Knife Works, and I don't like Blade HQ, but they're decent. So I know I can go down here, and since I typed in titanium, I can go to lock type and I can pick frame lock and liner lock. And if you want, and then this is another good way to find knives that might be your style that you don't know about. I usually set this to 90 so I don't have to scroll as many pages. But I've also ran across knives that I wanted by looking at Knife Center just for titanium and frame lock or liner lock. I mean, it depends on what kind of lock you want. You know, everybody's different. But then I would, you know, I've shown y'all quite a bit about using Knife Swap, and or there's a couple other pages. I'm sure all y'all know about them, but Love Them Knives is another place that takes knives on consignment to sell for people, kind of like a Blade Binge, except that I think people send him LTK. They send their knives to him to sell, I believe, and he ships them all out. Whereas Blade Binge, it's kind of like an eBay type deal where you sell your own on there. I'm not sure about that, but I think that's the case. And all the knives that I bought from LTK, I've emailed him to ask him if he could ask the seller if they would take a certain price. And then he messaged me back and said yes, they would, and he changed the price on the website. They seem to have all shipped out of Florida. So I think he gets them all in-house and then ships them all himself. But Love Them Knives is another good place to find pre-owned knives that are in good condition. They have decent prices, but like the thing I said, like if I wanted this knife and I wanted to offer $325 for it instead of $375, all you have to do here is go to somewhere on here. Oh, down at the bottom, he's got a contact link, and there's his email address, and you can just email him and ask him, send him, copy the link to the knife you're looking for up here at the top, and ask him if the seller would take $325, and if so, he'll email you back, and you'll see the price change on the site, and you can hit buy it now and buy it before somebody else does. But I bought two knives off of my original Arma, my Megaron Arma came off of here, and my the one that looks like the one that's the Jetstream, dang it, Jetstream. Yeah, the Tempest. My Tempest, I bought this Tempest right here for 130. So that was a case right there where you see the guy had it listed for 165, and I emailed him and asked him if he would sell it for 130, and he said yes. And so I went in and bought it. So that's the Jetstream that I bought. And then my Arma. Oh, keyboard's flaking out again. The Arma I bought was, I think it was either this one. Let's see. I think it was this one. I think I offered him 250 and it was listed at 310 because I saw another one had sold for 300 and 275, so I offered him 250. But you don't have to agree to the price. So anyway, that's a good way to get a better deal than what they are on the price. And you can do the same thing on Blade Binge. So don't be scared to message the seller and say, will you take this price? And it's a buyer's market. I mean, a lot of these people that are selling knives need money for something or to buy a new knife, and they'll take your offer. And if you don't really need a knife, the best time to buy a knife is when you don't need a knife. Like, you're not supposed to go grocery shopping when you're hungry. Same thing applies with knives. Like, don't go looking for a knife if you just have to have it. I've gotten the best deals on knives because a lot of times when I buy a knife, it's not one that I just have to have. So I make an offer, and if he says no, then I just go on. And 90% of the time, they'll come back to you and be like, okay, I will take it, or whatever. Which buying knives brings me to another topic, which is I bought too many knives yesterday. I bought too many knives in this last week. I ended up buying 3 from Ed. And I think he threw in an extra one, so I got 4 coming from Ed. I've still got that ProTech coming. I've still got the TS 195 coming. I've still got what else do I have coming? I've got the TS 195. Oh, the Guru is still coming. The Kaiser Guru. Then I bought that Kaiser the Cyber knife. Along with that, and I just bought this Kevin John. And then yesterday, I kind of splurged, and Ed talking about the Annex. I know y'all know I bought one not long ago and then sold it 2 days later. Well, I decided to buy one again. So I paid $260 with tax for the one that I bought. And I resold it on Knife Swap for $260. So I got my money back out of it. Well, yesterday, a guy posted one. And I will show you the post here. So he posted one for $180. And I offered him $150. And he's the first owner. Never been used or carried. 180 was a good price considering I paid, $260 for mine, but I offered him 150, and he said if he didn't get any interest soon, he was gonna drop the price to 160, and if nobody bought it for that, he would give it to me for 150. And then he said, or you can buy both of them right now for $275. So even though I didn't want the other knife, I looked at it and thought I could deal with it. So I feel I ended up getting the annex for $150 like I asked, and then I got this Vanguard mini cleaver for $125. And when I looked up the cost of it, it was $270 new. So getting it for $125, I'm pretty sure I can break even on it as well. So I bought both of those yesterday too. So those will be coming back in. I'm hoping this action on this annex will be better. It looks decent. But like I said, shoot your shot. Like, you know, not going to hurt anything. Those would have been $330. So I saved $55 by buying them both. And then I'll resell the mini cleaver, and that'll make my annex even cheaper. Good morning, Michael. Yeah, the TS-195 should be sweet. I'm looking forward to getting that ProTech in too. The post office is moving terribly slow this week. But I finally got, from Ed, I finally got a Clydesdale coming in. So I've been looking forward to checking out that brand altogether. Y'all have recommended it. And I got a custom Clydesdale. Ed did some modding to it. So that's cool. We could go look at the pictures of it, I guess, real quick. It's in the Discord. So Discord. If y'all haven't looked at Ed's pictures, you need to check out his Flickr. He's got them all listed in the buy, sell, and trade. He's got his Flickr account listed here. He's got some really cool pictures of his knives. And I'm quite sure he would sell quite a few of them if you hit him up too. But the knives I bought were, I got another Miguron because I need one of those for my collection. I got the QSP Woodpecker, and I got that Clydesdale. This No Boundaries was one I asked him about buying, and he didn't want to get rid of it. Oh, and y'all still can't see what I'm looking at. Now it went to the browser. My bad. Dang. My bad. I was scrolling and y'all didn't even see what I was scrolling. I forgot when I clicked out of the Discord that it went back to the browser, so I had to switch the source. But anyway, Ed's got his Flickr with all these cool knives posted. And I was scrolling down through here showing y'all all these pictures. And thought you could see what I was showing you. So the first one we get to on the scrolling is, oh yeah, I said this No Boundaries right here was the one that I asked him about, but he didn't want to get rid of it. I love the look of it. And then let's see, ZT, CRKT. He's got 13 pages like this of wonderful pictures. So I like that one too. The Direware Solo Clone. He probably sold it a while back. That's a cool Tucson. I like those Bestecs he had too. That's another cool Tucson. Y'all need to go check out these pictures and see if there's any knives you might want to hit him up. I'm sure he'll work with you on price. He was very fair to me. and I appreciate that. He was already so fair that I didn't even try to haggle with him much. And that says a lot because I'm usually haggling. That's part of the fun of it. I love the way that TS3 138 looks. Love that milling. Shape of that blade's cool too. Trying to get down here to the ones I actually did buy, but we're seeing a bunch of cool pictures in the process. I wanted to buy that Xerxes too, the TS225. I wanted quite a few of them. Anybody that looks at the pictures, you'll want quite a few of them too. He had a Riot Jack that I wanted, but it sold a while back, I guess. Which also doesn't surprise me. Come on, where are you at? I guess I could use the search, but I'm afraid what'll pop up on Flickr. I still like that fatty slash. I can't see what y'all are saying if you're saying anything, so just bear with me while I scroll at some awesome pictures for a little longer. I've got a Rad Shepherd, or I would have bought that one. That's a super cool big knife. I like that Artisan too. Dang, so many good pictures, Ed. I like that Megatherium too. He's got all the titanium Ephengros. Like look at the anodization pattern he put on that one. Pretty cool. All right, we're on page 4. We're almost. I could go very quickly. Let me, in fact, do that. I didn't want to show my private chat with him, which I won't, but I can go up here to the pictures I sent and do this very easily. So I'm going to be careful here not to show anything I shouldn't, but here's the Clydesdale. Whoops. Why is it not showing up? Maybe I got to hit play before it'll show up. Yeah. So there's the Clydesdale. The front flipper's been removed, and it's got some modding on the show side. And it's been anodized. So there's the Clydesdale we've got on the way. I don't blame you, Ed. I like my Shepherd also. Then let me go back to the browser for a second while I get to the next video, just so I don't show anything. Here's the Prayer 2 that I bought, the Migron. Hold on. I don't think he shows much of it, but I'll show a picture of it in the video. I think he's showing the hand-rubbed clip in this video. But there's the knife too, yeah. So I got that one. That'll go nicely alongside my other Migrons. And then last but not least, I got the... Dang it, where you at? Alright, I got the Woodpecker, which I'm sure y'all are familiar with maybe. Super cool knife. Love the lines on it. So thank you, Ed, for selling me those 3. And y'all should go check out his Flickr for sure. Hit him up about any knives you might want. He'll give you a good deal on them. And so, a lot of them have been, I would say, a lot, if not the majority of them, have been modified by him in some sort. So they'll have his own touch of Ed. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind including an Edyard in the knife for a cost. There's the Riot Jack that I wanted to buy that somebody else bought. If y'all aren't familiar with that knife, it's an awesome integral. There's the back of it. Great knife. It's kind of pricey knife, but I was willing to pay for it if he still had it. I almost asked him about that one too. I saw it on video, so I know he still has that one, but I didn't ask about it. Y'all know carbon fiber. Wish it was full titanium. So that was cool. Let's see. It seems like there was something else I wanted to talk about today. Oh yeah, I put an offer on a Chad. We were talking about Kunwus and the big ones, and Chad and the Gringo were the other two big ones. So I put an offer on a Chad last night, but it's not the diamond pattern. It's the orange pill version, and the guy didn't accept my offer. And I told him I was kind of glad because I didn't want that version anyway. I just got knife swap alerts for a Devo Lush in Flow Party Camo Carbon from the second drop for $150. If it's been dropped, 200 new. He paid 170. He's dropped it to 150. It was posted 11 minutes ago. And then I should hit this one up. Should I buy this Knife Standards? No, I don't like the watermelon with Zerk clip. But the RR3, Knife Standards RR3, I'm not sure. Most of y'all are probably familiar with that knife. But there's a RR3 that just posted not long ago that I got an alert on. Whoops, that's not it. By new. Well, it's not even up there yet. The Real Vendetta. How is it not up there yet? How did I get an alert before it's even up there? There's a Kaiser Sea Lion too. Which I'm not familiar with, but might be one I'm looking for the collection. 2 minutes ago. Yeah, okay, now the Knife Standards is up. So see, I got alerts before it was even showing on the search on Knife Swap. But here's the there's the RR3 Knife Standard. Dimples. Yeah, there's the RR3 for sale. Okay. Hairy leg. There's the Kaiser Sea Lion. Yeah, that is one that I've looked at, and I do like that one. I think that's one of the only ones with some like little notching that I do like. Notches cut out of it. I don't really like the blade though with the handle. I like the blade. I like the handle, but I don't think they go together. And then he had what else did he have? Oh, the other one was the Devo Lush second drop. And that one posted 14 minutes ago. It's that version. If any of y'all are interested in it, he's got it for $150, and he's not getting any kind of interest. So I bet he'd take $130 right now, $140. I'm not sure if that's a good price. I know a lot of y'all like Devo knives, so thought I would share that one. Let's see, one more thing. I did get that package sent off to the guy in the UK. I hope I did all that right. Oh yeah, I bought that. Also bought that Berg Blades Iron Pup this week. I don't know. I sold some knives and really went crazy with buying some new ones. I'm looking forward to getting that Kaiser Guru. So yeah, knife swap, blade binge, love them knives, eBay searches. Yeah, I'd like to hear TC how those stropping things work. So keep us posted on that. All right. So what else is going on in y'all's knife world? What are y'all looking forward to getting or wanting to get or looking for? I'd have to say this knife feels about as good as the Drop Bear as far as action. See if the lockup's good. Yeah, lockup's good on it. Boss Steve makes a good knife. This it's kind of blade heavy, but I like that. I love that patterning on that. That shiny. You can see it's got texture too. My cigarette's off the table. Yeah, Vosteed makes some good stuff, but that shiny, yeah, there you go. You can see the pattern on it. It's got like little micro grooves. Cool little knife. Like I said, I don't know where this one. I got it. I think I bought a bundle of knives and I wanted something else, and this came with it. But it feels super light. That's why I'm kind of curious. 2.94. Compared to 3.59 for that titanium one. You've never seen that kind of handle? I don't know what they call it. Anybody else know right offhand what they call that Vosteed pattern? Let's see. Vosteed raccoon. It is the come on, where you at? Must be one of the oldest versions. I don't see it on here. Well, heck, you can't even find it anymore. That's weird. Unless I skipped over it, but I don't think I did. Let's see. Vosteed raccoon. Is it carbon fiber? It is carbon fiber, right? No, it's not carbon fiber. It's something else. Have one of y'all said it in the chat yet? Yeah, it's not carbon fiber. It was an exclusive All right, so let's type in raccoon exclusive. See if we can find it. Going Gear exclusive. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it's Raffir Noble. I should have known that because I've got a Raffir Noble Kaiser. Going Gear exclusive. Well, that's cool. I didn't know it was an exclusive. Yeah, Raffir Noble is a new handle technology. I mean, material. There's actually it's actually patented. It's got metal inside it, so it's got brass and bronze meshed inside it. So it's like a, and they did have a bunch of it, but they also make Raffir fossils, so they're genuine mammoth tooth. So this material, yeah, if you look it up, so Raffir woods, it's stabilized wood, and then they have the fossils, which are 10,000 to 40,000 year old mammoth tusk Raffir, but they add in metals to bind it. And it's pretty cool stuff. Kaiser's using it. I guess Bastide is too. But they make Raffir fossils, composite blocks, and woods. So the composite blocks look like this. And you can make scales out of them. Or they look like the Noble. They only have this available right now. Black Moon Bronze. But they came out with different kinds of it. But if you read about it, it's pretty crazy. Aluminum materials, fine brass and bronze, 3D effects. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Stabilized wood means that it's not going to break down. Just to be simple. It's not going to rot. It's going to stay the way it is. Scott, yeah, the Vanker lock is nice. Have I done it? Have I stabilized wood? No. I don't know. There's a technique. What is stabilized wood? It's got polymer. It's got acrylic. Okay. Composite material is different than micarta fiberglass. It's timber that has an acrylic polymer dissolved into a solvent and then forced into the wood through a mix of vacuum and pressure cycles. The wood is then heated to drive off the solvent and cure the resin. It leaves a wood that's harder, denser, stronger, resistant to water, resistant to warpage, and will take a higher sheen than natural wood. Stabilized wood is often the best choice for pieces that will be handled often around water, humidity, scuffed. Knife makers are fond of stabilized woods. So yeah, they inject a polymer, vacuum it in there, and then that's why it's stabilized, because it's will no longer rot or be resistant. It won't warp. It'll be water resistant, all that stuff. Rich Light is another new handle material that they're using in knives. And it's got it's patented too. And you can buy it in slabs. So Kaiser is using it as well. There's quite a few people that are using it, I believe. But it's another new type handle material. It's a pretty cool color. Knife handle scales, $5.49. That's showing you the different layers. So if you contoured knife scales, they would look like that in certain places and be solid in certain places. No, that's TC Blades. I think that's Bakelite. I think Richlight is something else. I think you're talking about Bakelite. If I remember correctly. Yeah, Bakelite. Bakelite plastic. That's what old phones were made out of. It's all confusing. I can't believe I remembered that. But I remember it gets real brittle. I believe Bakelite does. After time, stuff will break real easy if it gets real brittle. I know a bunch of stupid, useless facts like that, the Bakelite stuff. I hadn't heard that in a long time, though. Yeah, handle materials are cool. And of course, like all your paper micartas and all that, the micarta, all that layer technology, they've really come a long way in last few years with knife handle material. I could show you I'm not sure where my other Kaisers are, but I could show you like some Richlight and some yep, not in here. Yeah, there you go, Ed. Ed's got it down. Used back in the day. Brittle, shitty plastic. Acted like glass when it got old. Was it really that bad? I don't remember. I guess I remember some. Sure, from my childhood, we had something that was Bakelite. I can't remember. We had some kind of. I don't know if it was some kind of pot or something, or some kind of dish that we had that was Bakelite. I know you're thinking that because of the word bake, but I really do think we had some kind of fruit bowl or something, or I can't remember, but I know growing up I remember hearing about it at some point. I'm trying to find what I did with my other Kaisers that aren't titanium. They got their own case when I sorted stuff, and I don't think I didn't put stickers and stuff on the cases after I sorted them all. That's my Sincut Civivi case. That's my Kubi case. So this has got to be the Kaiser case. No, that's here's my Kaiser case of stuff that's not titanium. But this is Raffir Noble. This is another one of the patterns that they have, but you can see it has metal infused in it. That's, I don't know if you can see there, it's got a cool texture, but that's Raffir Noble. That's a mini sheepdog or something. I've got two of those. This is, that's my Carta. And then this is the, whoops, sorry, you can't even see them all. Easy Bake Oven. This is the Rich Light, which is super cool. This is the Escort, which is another great crossbar lock knife, if you haven't. It's like butter. But that's the red Rich Light material. It's got a cool light color and texture to it. And then this is their weird, this is a weird like carbon fiber stuff they have. Let me turn this light down a little bit. But it makes like a pattern. I don't know, this is some weird stuff they used on this one knife, this Assassin. But it looks like it's moving. It looks like those old holograms, kind of. If you don't remember those. But it's a pretty cool little crossbar lock knife, too. A guy asked me on Reddit the other day about a knife kind of like the Osborne that was kind of flat and thin. And I recommended this one. Yeah. And then over here is my... Oh, there's a couple more Kaisers. The Towser K, Towser S, Towser S, and the Bulldog. It's a super cool knife. Yeah, that Bulldog. I think they just came out with a few more versions of this. Yeah, we looked at those the other day. But this Bulldog, if you've not checked out a Kaiser Bulldog, you should. Then I got some QSPs. Got all my QSPs across here. Petrified fish. A couple petrified fish and QSPs. And my Dam Designs. All four of those are Dam Designs. Which Kubi bought out. So now you can get these same knives with the Kubi branding. Actually, they still have the same pivots, but... And then I've got one Migron that's not titanium. The Moyarl. This is a great budget knife. Keep it scale stupid if you want a good budget knife. The Migron Moyarl. Why does the light look better when it's up? It doesn't. It's against this black background, I guess. Anyway, that's a cheaper Migron liner lock Moyarl. And then I got one Vosteed besides that raccoon. I need to put the raccoon with this one. This is a mini Nightshade. And then I got one Cuvist knife, which is cool. Like I said, this one came from Discerning Man, one of his purges. I bought this from Pete. Yeah, we'll go look at the black aluminum and bubble gum Bulldog. That's a lot to say. This was cool. I liked it because it was my first like YouTuber knife I bought. I thought it was special because it had been on TV. It's a famous knife, but I guess that really doesn't mean much. Oh yeah, and if y'all haven't, this is one of the funnest knives to play around with ever. It's the double detent mini sheepdog. And I could have sent this to England too because it's a non-locking knife. But the detent on this thing is super strong both directions. But it's super fun to sit here and play with because you don't have to hit a lock to close it. Pretty cool. Super fun to play with. That's what she said. All right, let's go look at the black aluminum and bubble gum Bulldog. Black aluminum Aluminum and bubblegum bulldog. Aluminum and bubblegum bulldog. Aluminium. Bazooka bubblegum and black aluminum. Oh, wow. I didn't even know that thing existed. Let's watch the video on it. Let's check it out. All right, let's see if we can. Here's the on the Kaiser site. Yeah, I didn't even know that thing existed. That's the one I got. They just released 2 new models, I believe. Yeah, the wood one. The wood one and that one, I guess. Different micarta with black blade. Like that wood one too. Super cool little knife though. That's pretty wild, that pink and black. Pete, I wouldn't have guessed that was your style. Now I know. I don't know why they called it. Oh, that was the winner of the 2023 contest. Okay. Bazooka Pink. That's pretty cool. Which reminds me that Dylan Mallory artisan knife still hasn't come out yet. I don't even know what it is. I need to figure out what it is again. We saw it at Blade Show. And I guess I need to find it on his Instagram. That'd be the easiest place. But I know there's one he's making for artisan coming out soon that I want to get. Spectra pre-order. Needs to sell 80 more. That's not it. That's one from his own company, I guess. What is it? Let's see. That's the Spectra. Yeah, that's not it. It's one he showed at the. There's. Yeah, this is it right here. The Keras. Prototype Greek for horn. That's the one I want from Artisan that he makes. It's called the Keras. Keras. I need to bookmark this page so then I will remember which exact knife it is. Greek for horn. And I don't know when Artisan is going to release that. Yep, not out yet. This is the... Aha, here we go.
Cutlery booth. my man Russell.
What's up, man?
Thanks for helping us out.
You know it.
SHOT Show coverage brought to you by Titanica Overbuilt Apparel. So with that being said, let's cut into it. So we picked to show you our new bolt from CGRB. Love the shape of this guy. Has a nice simple clip point, and you can see something's a little fresh on here. This is our new Recoil Lock V2. This functions as a crossbar lock, but with this little tab back here, you have multiple ways to open and close this model. So I'm really happy with the way this feels. Nice, simple, straightforward design. Kind of a
crossbar lock with a
clip point on there, and just the way this feels is it's
Yeah, I like that one too.
and smooth. I just love that you have this option to really pop your knife like this. Thing feels fantastic. So that is the bolt. That's an in-house design that should be coming out within the next, I believe, 3 to 6 months. Nice. Let's move this guy on over here. Moving onward to some designer-made knives. Let's start off with my bro, Dylan Mallory. Gotta love Dylan stuff. We don't have a name for this one just yet, but I'm really stoked about the way this came out. This is our
That
first
looks
time
like the
doing
Spectra that
these
he
really
just
nice aluminum scales with
talked
inlay
about.
G10. This has kind of a steak knife thing going on, nice and slim, kind of a elegant gentleman's knife. That
He
is
said
not
steak
what I
knife, so I'm not the
call
only one that says the
thin.
steak knife thing.
Great cutter,
Weird.
great general user. It's a nice feeling hand.
I figured that wasn't a proper term for
We also
knife
just did a little bit
shaped
of
like
work on this
that.
clip,
but
just so you have a
that's
little
what
bit
I
of an
call them,
hourglass
steak
shape,
knife
just a
look.
little extra style. I'm into this one. That feels so good.
I love that. Now, if you guys have a name suggestion for it, drop it in the comment section down below, and we'll see if we like it. Or
Do it. We need some suggestions. Moving on, I got 2 at the same time here. 2. These are the Kestrel, designed by Ray Laconico. Anyone who's followed Ray's stuff has seen this as one of his customs.
Yep,
I had to
I
go
love
and
Ray's
beg and
stuff.
plead with him to see if we can get this in CGRB, and Ray was just like, all right, sure, let's do it. So, I'm stoked about this. We're doing 2 different blade shapes, so we're not quite sure what's going to resonate with people, so let's start with this guy. Oops. There we go. Nice drop point,
Wow.
full flat ground
I like that
blade.
drop point.
Nice for kind of that more outdoorsy, general purpose. A little bit more belly for slice. I'm kind of getting some people saying it's more of a Skinner vibe. I'm sure if you like skinning, I guess that works, but I do like how this blade is nice and thin, and that full flat's gonna be a great slicer. Putting that one down, moving on to the one that I think more people have been into. This one's like a Warncliffe harpoon.
Yeah, I knew it was
think
gonna
that
be
looks so
Warncliffe.
slick. We asked Ray to just design something a little different than what he had in his custom versions.
All right,
Steep. Feels
Going
great.
on down here to
1
the
and 2. Moving onward, probably one of our most interesting designs for the year, and one that's gotten some of the most eyes. Hard to miss those colors. This is the Nanner, designed by Dustin Rhodes. Look at that blade. I'm into this. I do love a good upswept. This thing just feels kind of slicey, has a nice flow to it. I really do like
Yeah, I like that one
backhanded
too.
grip here, because if you are gripping up a little
It's weird
high,
enough
you're
that
away
I
from the
think
lock.
I
This has
could
this
deal with
nice
it,
feeling
but-
hand, and let's pass it off to the expert. There we go.
wow.
Is that cool?
I like the way it locks your hand in. It has that fun, fidget-friendly lock to it.
Pops. That crossbar lock has a real pop to it.
wild
We're
colors on
debating
it.
on making this a little bit longer overall, just kind of expanding it overall about a 1/4 inch, just to make it a bit bigger. But I think the colors in this pop so nicely. I'm sure we'll have some less banana-y colors, but I think this is it's fun, it's interesting. I like how much as you're
right,
getting something up.
let's see the one
Rhodes.
we
And
came
speaking
for.
of Mr. Rhodes, why don't we move on to some of the artisan stuff? Yeah? This is the Beast with 2 E's, and this thing is, let's just get in close on some of that detail work on there. I'm sure you all can see the theme on here. We have the nice honeycomb pattern, the nice carbon fiber stripe, and this, I love how Dustin does these little
I guess I'll-
shaped clip inserts. I think that is one of the nothing this small. This nice, right on by a two. There we go. Fit in,
Yeah,
the
that's a
ankles,
cool
it's all
knife.
roads. Moving onwards. So now we got the big one. I apologize for butchering the name on this guy. This is the Fragrach, or it's Gaelic. There's a whole bunch of lore behind the name that I won't delve into.
Still
but
don't
this
see the one I'm looking for. It better be in this video.
really like robust in the hand. I love the way it feels. Also, I'm loving this end cut carbon fiber on there. That is just super cool.
Whoops. Just dropped
This
something.
feels
Hold on.
amazing in the hand. It's got that nice ramp right there. Plenty of space with the finger. I have smaller hands, so you know I got plenty. I got an addition locked in. Super
Come on.
but I
We're not going to see the one I was even. Oh, that's
work
not
with
it either.
task. No, he doesn't to do. Finally got around to show like it's layered. knife. Helping us again, thanks to
Yeah, we're not going to see it. Wow. Well, we saw some artisan knives, but we didn't see the one I was actually looking for. But this is it. I'm looking forward to that one. I almost bought one at Blade Show. Well, I would have bought one. This is the guy that I buy knives from occasionally. If y'all want to buy some good deals on knives, Hog Road Slayer, Pete hooked me up on him. He's got good prices. That video was from, I'm not sure, Tactical Taverns Thomas is who that video was. And I hope, Pete, I'm not giving away anything I shouldn't, but he popped up down here at the bottom, so I thought I'd show it. But he's got some good deals on knives. Some of these have been sitting here for a while. But he posts, that's who I got the Asher Soul that I called it. Oh, speaking of which, somebody posted that the liner lock is back in stock at Asher. The titanium liner locks are back in stock with S90V. So if anybody's looking for one of those, they're back in stock. Sorry, Pete. Nobody will go to him anyway. Me and you'll be the only one to use him. But yeah, I added one to cart, and I got the S90V version. They have a 20CV version of the drop point that's a little cheaper. It's $145. The drop point S90V is $160. And I've got it in my cart. I didn't check out yet because I was looking for a coupon code. Lefty 10 doesn't work. I was hoping one of y'all had one. I tried B's Blades. I've got the thumb stud version of that knife. Actually, mine might be a frame lock. Do we know if mine is a frame lock or not? Anybody remember when I showed my Ashers? They're all sitting right over here, so let me see if I can answer that question really quick. Mine is a dang it, I thought it was one of the three in the bags, but I guess it's not. That's not it. That's not it. The last one I opened? Really? Oh no, that was it. This first one was it. I think. Liner lock. But is that the start? I don't remember. Yeah, that's the... Oh no, here it is. It's a frame lock. That's what I thought. Whoops. I thought y'all could see my screen, but... Y'all gotta give me just a second. I gotta use the bathroom. Hold on. Wow. That coffee ran right to me. Yeah, I thought y'all could see the camera. Oh, really? They just sold out? Let me see if it'll let me check out with it. Let me put the camera back on. Hold on. Let me see if it'll actually let me check out. Yeah, there's my frame lock with the thumb stud. Yeah, I don't think the cart's going to save it either, but let's figure out. uh, Spring 15 code? Dang it. Why don't you tell me that? Does that work? Spring 15? Oh, it worked. But can I actually check out? Thank you for the Spring 15. Now let's just see if I can get one real quick before. Ha! It worked. I will, dang it. Discord. Stuff for channel. Paste. Browser. Grab it. Stuff for channel. Paste. OBS. Discord. On the Asher website. So yeah, check it out. Somehow it went through. Thank you for letting me know they're about to sell out. Thank you. We received your order. It says the time on it when I added it to cart. Or no, he's in West Coast, I guess. But check out how much you saved me. You saved me $24 on that code. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I was waiting on that coupon code. I don't know. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how that happened or how that worked, but it worked. That's pretty cool. I got yeah, I've got here's my Ashers again. So I've got the aluminum. Was that the Nomad? No, that's the it's the aluminum Nomad, I guess. I've got that one. I've got the titanium frame lock thumb stud. I've got the carbon fiber warranty. I've got the regular G10, whatever that is. I've got this sole now that I forgot. Now I've got 7. Then I've got the Douglas the Acuto, and that's 7. So that's my my Asher collection. Now I guess I've got number 8. Let's click that link and go see what we're looking at. Oh, it's another thin long knife. What are we going to say about that? You got the Stonewash, this one. Yep, that's your style for this week, Sever 7. Long, thin ones. $325. You got it for $150. That's a heck of a deal. The purple, which one? Ah, this one. Yeah. Too much black going on it. Black blade. Yeah, I like how we all have our own styles. Seems like a lot of people like black blades nowadays. Yeah, that's what I love about knife collecting is we can have so many different styles and everybody can be happy. Nobody's right or nobody's wrong, and do what makes you happy. I like this hand satin with the Zerkatai clip and spacer. A, B, C, D, E. They're all, so A, B, they're all sold out. That's funny. They're all different patterns. I like how he showed all the clips and backspacers, because then you know exactly what you're getting. Somebody on Reddit said something about that. They ordered some Zerkatai. It didn't look like the picture they ordered, and they were pissed about it. He doesn't know what a protean or a duck is? Yeah, definitely not for 400. Yeah, Metal Complex surprises me a lot of times on things he doesn't keep up with. And I started talking about knives to my sister, who I thought was really big into knives, and she didn't know, she had never heard of like the Sicaray or the Goon. Do y'all know about the Goon? That's a weird knife. If y'all haven't seen the Goon, y'all would probably like it. It's by Serpent's Run. Yeah, the Goon is a cool knife. I found it from a buddy I knew and passed it on to another buddy I knew. And he bought one, and then I saw how it looked, and I didn't want one anymore because of the teardrop blade hole. So here's a good picture of it. Well, that's a bad picture of it. There you go. There it is right there. There's the Goon. I didn't like the... Have y'all seen the Serpents Run Goon? Sever 7. You ever heard of that knife? I had a pretty high dollar collector friend of mine that was on Red Knife Swap, and I ended up asking him to send me a picture of some of his titanium knives, and he sent me a picture of a bunch of knives. So I circled one and figured out what it was, and it was that one. And that's kind of my style. And they make it in different versions, of course. They make some, like when we went to their website, they still had some that were kind of extravagant, but they make them with holes in them and all different kinds of colors. So see, that like there's a pretty cool one. Looks like they're coming out with a new one, but let's see, photos. So they make some different versions of it. Make a lot of different versions of it. That's his new one, the Boom Slang. But I like the production, just the plain. That's a pretty cool one. Huh. Weird. Anyway, another knife, if y'all hadn't seen it. Pretty cool. Oh, you sent a knife design to Reich? That's awesome. I'm about to bust out and get one of my 3D printers set back up so I can start 3D printing some prototypes. I've really been getting into thinking about designing a knife, and I want to be able to 3D print it first so I can check out a bunch of different styles of blades and handles before I actually get into like actually doing it. So that'll be awesome. I'll get that done pretty soon. I don't know which knife goes where in these stupid cases. I hate these boxes. All right, there we go. Yeah, Sever, I could 3D print some for you too, for you to check out once I get my printer set back up. I've got a couple of brand new ones in the box that I want to try out that I haven't even opened yet. I'm going to bust one of those out. But I can't wait to hear what they say about your design. Scott, yes, sir. Once I get my printer set up, I can print it. Scott, I would be happy to. I'll let you know when I get that done. But you can email me whatever. You can send me. I need the STL files, but yeah, I pulled the trigger, TC. I had to do it. Had to do it. What did I do with that last Asher case? 3.6. I had a case for that one too. I don't know what happened to it. Yeah, step file. Yeah, I can use that. I can slice up a step file. I just threw it on my PayPal because I didn't know if I had time to dig out a card out of my pocket. Yeah, I'm posting this up for sale today on Knife Swap and in the Discord. My Hilberg Chamois with the lightning anno and the milled scales. 3.3 inch. So that's going up for sale today. Super cool Chamois clone. I don't know how I lost that other Asher bag. Pouch. No telling. It's probably right here beside me somewhere. I'll find it. You want that chamois? You might not if I tell you how much it costs. No, it's not going to be that bad. It's what they're worth. Where's my other stupid Asher bag? Alright, guys. I think I'm going to start winding it down. Unless y'all got anything else to talk about. We're at an hour and 53 minutes. Maybe one of them didn't come with a pouch. Maybe I did just use the pouch. No. It's got to be here. All right, I'll text you, TC. Oh, you mean the Spectre? Sever 7? Not the Rask, the Spectre. I need to get rid of a bunch of knives. I'm getting rid of a bunch of my clones. And just keeping the nice newer ones that I got. I don't know if you saw Sever 7, but I got a second one of these. They were both brand new. I got this one in a bundle deal too. Kind of like where I got this one. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know where it came from actually. All right, Sever 7, I will do that. If you want any kind of Benchmade clones, I've got just about all of them. and I don't want any of them. If there's any Benchmades you want to check out, let me know. Including, like, if you want to check out, like, if I was going to recommend, well, I take that back. I'm going to keep a couple. I'm going to keep the Slice Bowie, the Spidey Chef. Oh, those are Spydercos anyway. All my I meant to say my Spydercos are all for sale too, except for a few of those. And my Benchmades, I'll probably keep one of the 710s. Because I love the 710. I'll probably keep one of my Osborne's blade edge picks. Oh, okay, from the sharpening system thing. .940s are sweet. There's a reason they are what they are. Look, he got some microscopic shots. Oh yeah, that looks good. Yep, that looks great. What blade is that on? He drew an arrow. Pretty funny. Yeah, I love my 940, man. A lot of people don't, talk about it as being the knife that they carry, and there's a reason behind that. It is a great knife, and the smock is too. Like, yeah, great job. The smock is a great knife, and I don't care. Like, if you've never held one of them, or it's such a good knife. Like, the hollow grind on it, the action on it, everything about a good smock, a real smock. I've got a clone smock too. Yeah, I've got some cool Spydercos, some titanium ones, Sever. So we'll work something out. All right, guys. I think I'm going to get out of here. I'll put together some, do you need an Arius? I've got a brand new in a box, Sever 7, the Arius clones. They're D2. I've got an M390 one, but I want to keep it. But I've got two Arius clones still in the box. I got like 5 of these. The smock, the clone I got is just a red G10 one. It looks just like this. This is, yeah, you should get one of the, I've got one, it's a SMKE, or it's the Parode. But I've literally got 2 that are brand new. They're brand new, still in the box. I took the plastic off this one just to look at it, but they're both still in the plastic. Brand new. I bought 3 from DH Gate when I thought they were going to sell out. I was going to sell them and make a little money, but I don't care at this point. I'll give it to you for what I paid for it. I don't know where my Spydercos keep it scale stupid. It looks just like this. It's red. It looks, here, I'll show you. Okay. Smock. Here you go. It looks just like this one. Hold on. I think it's the M4 blade one, but it looks just like that red one. And it's only $22. Yeah, it looks just like that one. That's what it looks like closed. And then there's probably not a Benchmade. I mean, there's not many Benchmades I don't have, like some of the newer models, but like I've got one of these 710s. I love the 710. Sever 7, that's your style this week. The long and sleek. 710, great knife. And then, of course, the 940s are an awesome. This titanium one, like I want one of these just because of how much I love the 940. I love that texture. But that's the long and sleek 940. I've got one of these. I've got the auto. I got one of these aluminum ones. And I've got the titanium one. I got this one. And then I've got a real one with Meton Boss scales. So I'll sell all these clones. Yeah, I mean, it don't have to be. I'm not in a hurry. Like, you can see how quickly I post knives for sale. It doesn't ever happen. Like, so don't worry about them getting gone. But I really think I might have to get one of those. I automatically get 15% off of his knives, even though they're super cheap, because I bought so many. I bought 90 knives from OK Knives. So I've got 90 clones that I need to sell, from Spydercos to Benchmades to all my I've got a few Protex. I've got all the Extrema ratio that he sells. I don't know that I have them all, but yeah, I don't have them all, but I've got like 6 of them. I've got this one, the MF2. I've got the T-Razor. I've got this BD4. I've got this one. I've got, I don't know. Go to ZT. All right. Got the new auto. I've got one of these, the titanium ones of these I would sell. The 0392, I've got that one. I've also got, I've got the Hinderer 0562 in titanium also. Yeah, this one right here. I've got that 0562 in titanium. And I've got this this Todd Rexford one. The carbon fiber one. 0545? No, I don't think so. Which one is the 0545? Oh, right here, this one? No, I don't have it. Yep, that's your style this week. Or it might be your style for good. It might not be just this week. I'm just messing with you. Yeah, that one's cool. And he's got a sister site. It's called kyknives.com. So okknives.net dash and then kyknives.com. They're both his sites. And he has a lot more on here, including a ton of ballast songs and out the fronts and stuff that he doesn't have on the OK site. And they ship in like 10 days. But he's got some other ones on here that he doesn't have on the main site. Like the one that guy was asking that I sold the other day, that guy wanted to buy. What was that? And I told him he should buy it on here for $24, but he paid me $35. Heck, I can't even remember what knife it was. I just sold it to the guy for $35. What was it? I don't even remember his name. I hope he gets the knife. Just kidding. Huh. I don't know what knife it was, but anyway, they had it on here, but they didn't have it on the OK site. Anyway, they got a ton of knives on here too, so check them out if you're in the market for those. Yeah, but that'll just give me his real name, Pete. Drummer, see you later, buddy. Pete, to answer your question, OK Knives has the exact same knives that Jufool and Lemifshi sell, but he has better prices. So, like, this one is $124 because it's got real M390 blade steel. So, it's the same knives that you would buy on AliExpress from Jufool or Lemifshi, but he has a little bit better price. They all get them from the same factories. He's just got good prices because he buys so many and he's done so well. But he has the same good versions too. So you can get some awesome ones off here too. Like, but he has the cheaper versions too, but he has the good, it just depends. Like, this is the same one we saw on Amazon that was like $125 or $129 the other day. He's got it for $99. And it'll be the exact same knife that if we go to AliExpress and we search so I'm not sure who has that good version on here, but like, here's the regular version right here. So if you go back to OK, we type that in. He's got the same ones for $51, same price, $52 there, $52 there. It's just the shipping. The shipping is faster from OK. Yeah, just like TC Blade said. Yeah, I promote him a lot. He needs to give me a code. I don't even think they have a place for a code, though. If I showed y'all my order history, it's kind of crazy. But I bought these three. I bought this Quantum, and this Icebreaker from him. I've still got those. Those are all 3 for sale too. Anyway, we'll get it together. Keep it scale stupid. Yes, all of those knives on OK. Yeah, he's real good with customer service. He'll send you parts. He'll send you a new knife if anything's wrong with it. Keep it scale stupid. Every knife on this site, this ok-knives.net, every single knife on here is a clone. He's one of the only Chinese guys that set up a real website instead of using AliExpress. And he's made tons of money from it. But the only ones on this page that aren't clones are the ones that are OK knives. And he made his own versions of some. And some of these are even clones. Like these. But he did make his own knives. A few of them with a square hole. But they're copies. Like he makes his own shaman. But he actually made these knives. Or had them made. But they've got square holes instead of round holes so that he doesn't get sued by Spyderco. And he's really good about listing the real blade steel. So if it says on here that it's Mark something, then it's not really that blade steel. These are actual M390 and S30V knives. And he'll tell you the real blade steel if you ask him. I'm trying to find one that says Mark. I guess I could just type in Mark. See right here, this one says blade material M390, but it says Mark M390, which means it's labeled M390, but it's not really M390. It's like 9 CR 18 MOV or something. But he'll tell you what the real blade steel is. Anyway. Alright guys, I'm going to get out of here. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It's Monday. It's a fresh week. No, it's Sunday. No, it's Monday. Y'all have a great one. Remember, hit me up in my email if you need me, and clones are life. No, knives are life. If you got any questions, want to buy a knife, talk about anything I've talked about, hit me up.